Yo, it's episode number 4 of the extra chromosome, and got another fucking topic today. We're talking about this fucking Hawk Tuah thing. I know it's fucking trendy or whatever, but the shit fucking pisses me off. So I looked into it. I wanted to make sure I kind of know what was going on. I mean, I don't have the best understanding. I looked into it like any fucking American, you know. You look into the fucking first 20. I mean, I listened to, I got 16 minutes left of her fucking public thing on day one launch, you know. Basically, she went on with her corporate team, basically. She went on with her corporate media team, which is, I think, it's a mistake, but it's also good. Like, it's just, I can't with this fucking team, dude. Basically, people ask her a fucking question, and her corporate team goes, well, this was the Web 2 space, and it's just, it's what I like to refer to as corporate speech, pussies. Corporate speech. Corporate speech is the ultimate American lie. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but it's like when you go in for a job interview and they ask you, so you were a property manager, and you're gonna say, and you say, well, yeah, I mean, here's a better way to explain it. So, on my resume, I was a leasing agent. And, you know, when you hear leasing agent, you're like, oh, you lease properties. You were looking at empty units and you're trying to get people in them. And yeah, that's the majority of the job. But when I'm looking at a job interview, what am I going to say? People are going to be like, well, you're a leasing agent, and I'm going to explain it in a way that makes it sound fucking good. So I'm going to say, well, I was a leasing agent, primarily, that's the word you use, primarily, because it's not very quantifiable. You're like, well, yeah, primarily. And people are going to ask, well, nobody really knows what that means. People think, okay, so in their head, they're like, okay, so the majority. And you're going to be like, yeah, sure, the majority, whatever. But they aren't really thinking that when you start getting on the explanation. So I'm going to go primarily, I'm looking at leasing into units and doing that sales process of pushing people into an empty unit. I'm calling leads. See, you break it down, okay? I'm calling leads, I'm looking for people that want to rent the unit. And then, step number 2, and then you're like, well, I also, and you add on, so you break down that job. I mean, I'm not doing a very good job at it right now. I'm a little drunk, so don't fucking come at me. But what I'll try to do is break it down into 3 separate things. You're like, look, primarily, I'm doing leasing. Calling leads, following up with calling leads, calling leads, scheduling showings. Boom, calling leads, showing the property. I'm calling leads. That's good. People love calling leads. You're calling people, trying to figure out what they're doing. Then I'm showing the unit. I'm going out to the unit. I'm engaging with the customer, selling the property. I'm talking about the features. I'm talking about what we offer. Then, number 3 of your primary, this is just step 1 of your whole job, And then number 3, I'm following up. I'm sending them I'm sending them a link to the application, ask them what's going on, what they're thinking about the unit. I'm going for the close, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Then, but that wasn't everything I was doing, because I said primarily. So I was also, my job title was leasing agent, but I'm also, I'm also trying to make sure that people get their maintenance done. I'm coordinating contractors and calling subcontractors, different stuff like that, making sure that people get their maintenance done that they need, you know? Look at that. That's part 2 of leasing agent, dude. Then you make up some bullshit about, you know, and then, you know, you're interviewing for a business. So I always try to say something about the business, you know. I'm always trying to say something about like, oh yeah, you know, about how, I was talking to owners. If I have a project that, let's say like I have a project that costs a little much, for example, we had a fence that we need repaired. The city was asking for the fence repaired, and you know, I thought it was gonna be real cheap. I thought it was gonna be an easy cut and dry job, but it actually was real complicated. Like, I called like 7 or 8 different fence companies, got a few, and you know, only a few got back to me. Got some quotes, and then I presented that to the owner, and had him pick. So I just want to make sure he got the best deal, and I thought it'd be real cut and dry, but it was actually a real complicated process. It took a while, you know, I had to call a bunch of different people. You know, you just see how I'm making an easy thing sound complicated and cool. This is the entire job of finance majors, is to build a PowerPoint and then market it to you as they did something crazy. Like, and this is what the Hawk Tuah girl, or whatever her corporate team is doing. Well, she is meant to be lighthearted in what she does, which is have no personality. And I mean, I don't want to be, I want to be offensive. I mean, which is what she does, is be a white woman. Like, you know, like, it's just funny to me. You know, she's just being a white woman, which, you know, is whatever. You know, whatever, she can be a white woman, you know, which is basically just saying, like, her corporate team will go, well, you know, like this one guy talked, he just said the same thing over and over and over again. They were like, well, and he's smart, man. He's trying to make sure there's no liability on his team, and he's trying to make sure there's nothing, because, you know, this is America, dude. He did the scam. He did the fucking scam. We know he did the scam, man. He did the fucking scam. So what does he say? What does he do? He goes, well, this is basically all he said. I'm going to try to summarize it. I'm pretty sure I got it down. Bear with me. I'm going to do a couple attempts here. Well, so, you know, I'm just going to break down, like, kind of what we were doing in our history. That's a buzzword, right? That you say history, and oh my, dude, you kind of give yourself the pass, because you want to break down history. Because, first of all, no liability, honesty, you know what you were doing, you know? So you go, you know, I just want to break down our history and kind of what we did and what happened, and kind of you know, just talk about it. So that's basically what he said. He goes, so, you know, we're trying to put this coin into the you know, the Web 2 space, and maybe even push it into the Web 3 space, you know, and nobody knows what these things are, bro. Nobody knows what Web 2, nobody knows what Web 3 is. That's all fucking corporate bullshit, dude. and then he goes, so basically we wanted to sell this in 5K checks. You know, we did what do they call it? They use this word that you're supposed to, like, be like, oh my God. It's a strategic allocation. They go, you know, we did strategic allocations, and we want to do 5K and 3K checks, and this is for our foreign buyers, not our buyers in the U.S. And you know, we wanted to, it's just funny. Sorry, I'm a lot of fucking breath trying to talk about this, but we just wanted to do this in the Web 2 and the Web 3 space. We want to do special allocations, strategic allocations, which we wanted to happen in 5K checks, but we ended up shopping around and we were trying to talk to these people individually, and we ended up doing it 25K and 10K and all these kind of different. He basically just names a bunch of different numbers, and he's like, those are kind of the numbers that we ended up doing these strategic allocations in. And you're like, wait, what does that mean? And he goes, well, he goes, well, that's kind of what happened in our web, because we were trying to do something new and something creative. And then he explains, because basically what happened is 17% or something was bought in this, what they classify as a strategic allocation, which is a fancy word for saying foreigners bought it. This isn't like me being, this is literally breaking down exactly. It's people outside the U.S. buying 17% of their currency, which, in kind of how these cryptocurrencies work is basically you need rich people to own a lot of it so it retains its value. Because when you have a group of people that own 17% of your coin, or a significant amount, say you have 1 billion coins, if they own 17%, they own a decent amount. And if they hold on to that, which normally, to what I understand from looking into this, you should have agreements that say, hey man, if you want to do it legit, you should have agreements that say, look, you cannot sell for this amount of time. You have an agreement. You're like, look, you own it for this amount of time. You cannot sell for this amount of time. They did not have that. And they're saying the reason it wasn't a rug pull and it was, it wasn't a scam done by them is because these accounts were small checks of up to 25K. So basically they're saying, look, it was a bunch of individual investors that they call snipers. We got sniped, is what they're trying to say, which is basically they're saying, look, we sold to a bunch of individual foreigners that put up 25K, up to 25K checks. So they had 10K in there. They had a bunch of different amounts in there, but the highest amount I heard was 25K. And they bought 17% of the coin, okay? And when it came out, it went up to a $500 million valuation. So if we look at it, we're like, okay, 17% was owned by individualist foreigners, is what they're saying. Kind of wild. So we have 500 million, doing the math right now, times 0.17. Okay, that's $85 million. Let's say, I don't know the exact amount, it's super complicated. All this stuff, you have to look into the blockchain and all this wacky stuff. I've looked at a couple different YouTube videos of people breaking it down, and then I watched this bubble account. Basically, it's kind of like this bubble model. Basically what happened is they had individualist wallets. Kind of what I understand of it is they had individualist wallets that bought some, that owned this, which is kind of supports their point of it's a bunch of individualistic foreigners that were sniping. They thought, okay, if I get in early, I can just sell immediately. And because of launch day, it's going to have an inflated value, whatever. And so basically, they have these individualist wallets that it's kind of like a third grader, or it's kind of like me. It's kind of be like my ass trying to do a scam of we sell here in this account, and then it kind of reverts back. And then you look at these the blockchain, because it's all tracked. Cryptocurrency is a scam. I think it's 100% a scam because it's a currency not backed by anything. It's it's a currency not backed by a government and institution. It's something that, you know, it's like a phantom. It's like it's unlike the stock market in that way, where the stock market's backed by real assets. Like, there's a company out there that if they went bankrupt and had to sell off all their assets, I mean, us as the little guy, because, you know, the world is the world, and it's about being on the top and staying on the top. Us as the little guy isn't going to get our money back, but the big shareholders, like, say Warren Buffett bought like 10% of Coke. She owns like a ridiculous amount of Coca-Cola, but basically, if he owns 10% of Coke and Coke goes bankrupt, they're going to sell off their assets and pay him back because he's their biggest shareholder. He gave them the most money, and it's kind of this wacky world that we live in, you know. But that's kind of how it works. It's like, technically, after a bajillion years, you're going to get all your money back, you know. Like, you could, as an individual shareholder, make all your money back, but they're going to give it to all the whales, these big shareholders that bought a huge percentage, where their company could take that money and put it into something, you know. Basically, that's kind of what this 17% was supposed to be. It's supposed to be these big whales that own a huge percentage of the company and have like a controlling interest and have an agreement that they cannot sell for a certain amount of time. Now, basically what happened is a bunch of these little wallets sold, and then those wallets were tracked to other wallets, and it kind of just leads back to this one guy. It all leads back to this one wallet, which does actually have a controlling, which is one of the primary shareholders and kind of their big whales in the company. So we're assuming, which is the right assumption, that this big whale or this big investor is on Haley's team, which it literally would make zero sense if they weren't. Like, it's like somebody owning 10% of your, it's like somebody owning a huge chunk of your house and you never talking to them. So this was insider trading, and her team is doing all this corporate speech and trying to move you away and saying it's not a rug pull because they're sticking around, because we're going to be here every day, we're going to do all this, and that's all what that is. They're counting on the fact that we're going to forget about it. We're just going to move on very quickly, which is fucking bullshit. It pisses me off. It's so frustrating to see these scams fucking work, you know? So it's frustrating, and it's kind of my grasp of the situation. Basically, they're saying a bunch of little foreign investors sold separately, and you cannot track any of the transactions back to them, but you actually can. And on this reaction video to the whole thing, her corporate team just talks about her history and how, and they try to move it into, well, she loves dogs. Guys, who gives a fuck about dogs, man? Okay, dogs are cool, or I love it. Like, look, dogs are cool, but we have real humans going through issues, and it's fucked that people are donate that people. I don't understand how you can donate money to an animal charity when there's so many humans out there that are in trouble and need someone's help. Like if I'm gonna donate money to a charity, I think number one, I'm selfish, so I'm going to try to donate money to something that affects me, that can affect my immediate life, and maybe I can see a little bit of impact, So I'm going to do something local. And locally, a lot of local charities, you're looking at hospitals or, something like a hospital, Primary Children's is a big one in Utah, stuff like that. Like, I would donate to a homeless charity with, at the very least, at least 80 cents of my dollar has to be going to the charity, has to be going to the people that need it, I need 80% of my dollar. I need at least 80 cents out of my dollar, And it's bullshit that you can be classified as a charity when 80% of your dollar doesn't go to the people that need it. Like, so many of these charities have like a 40% or something. That's ridiculous. If you're running an organization that cannot move, that cannot live off 20% of the donations you get, we do not need your organization. Like, it makes zero sense. But basically, that's kind of my understanding on her thing. And her team does this thing called corporate speak. Everyone does it. Everyone in marketing knows what it is. Corporate speak. Everyone in the corporate world, everyone trying to get a decent job should know what corporate speak is. It's taking reality and twisting it around. It's the best way to describe it is it's selling reality. It's like looking at a shitty car and going, no, it's got character, Like, it's just, you're just kind of taking something and breaking it down, into a bunch of different things, Like, it's like what I said, like, on my resume, it's going to read leasing agent, but when I talk about it, I'm going to break it down into a bunch of terms that sound impressive and talk about what I did and try to sell it. Like, people don't understand. Like, that's what her team's doing. That's what she's doing. She's there to be lighthearted or relatable. She doesn't know what she's doing. They try to throw, so her corporate, like, basically I think the biggest investor, they own probably the majority stake in her freaking thing. They probably hosted her coin or did whatever, and what I kind of think she is she's an owner, but she owns like a small percentage, like maybe max 10%, and they're like, they own a majority stake, and she's kind of their face, their marketer, basically. And they try to throw it to her like, hey, this corporate guy's like, look, you should just break down your history, kind of what you're doing. And I think what they wanted from her was kind of a longer explanation, which would have really killed if she did some emotional speech. And they kind of teed her up to be like, because they kept talking about IP, which is I think it's like intellectual property. They kept trying to talk about that shit, but hold up, we gotta pause for a second while I grab my fucking shit. Hold up. Yeah, but I can't remember exactly where I was. It's kind of complicated, what I was talking about or whatever. It's like not a very, cool issue or whatever. I don't know. It is a cool issue. It's a very trendy issue is what I should say. But I was talking on something that it is very complicated. Like, people think it's something very cut and dry, it's very easy, but it is a very complicated issue. It's a very, very complicated issue, and I don't think it should be taken lightly. Like, it's not so cut and dry that I think it's like, okay, she was scammed. Just kind of exactly, out of like 100% or whatever. I don't think she was. I do think she's a terrible person, this Hawk Tuah girl, and I do think, fuck, I cannot see out of this fucking windshield. Holy fuck! But I do think she's a terrible person. I do think people should not give her a platform or try to support her in any way. Yes, I do think. Holy fuck. I do think, holy shit, I do think people should do that. I do think, you should not platform her or do anything like that in a way, but I don't think it's so cut and dry. I do not think it is as simple as people make it out to be. It is a fucking scam, guys. Do not invest in any cryptocurrency ever. Do not do it. Do not be an idiot. Cryptocurrency is dumb. It is pointless. It is not the way of the future. Cryptocurrency, if anything, is an issue with the future. I do not want a digital currency that is run by the government, because that's what this leads to. That's what this cryptocurrency is, some soft core bullshit of the government. I feel like it's the government. I mean, this is kind of a conspiracy, but I feel like, look, the government saw it coming, because obviously they fucking did, guys. The government's not dumb. Everyone's like, oh, they're dumb. They're doing this. They're doing that. They got dumb people. Yeah, recently. But the government knew. The government's not overall dumb. They have very intelligent people in positions running, doing the majority of the work. They saw this coming. They go, oh, okay, a digital, people are looking to do a digital currency. Let's just play devil's advocate and say, no. They did not see this coming. They didn't know what was happening. They did not see it coming, okay? Let's play devil's advocate. They didn't see it coming, okay? And you know what? There's a high percentage they didn't see it coming. I guess, like, I'm trying to play this card of, like, the government's all-knowing. They are not all-knowing. But, let's say they didn't see it coming, which totally makes sense. They didn't see a decentralized currency taking off and kind of being this alternative investment that everyone kind of wants, What they did see coming, what they did see after this is they react, guys. They react. They're like anybody. They go, okay, what would a decentralized currency mean for us? It would mean money not controlled by us. So that's bad. The government looks at that and goes, wait, we wouldn't be profiting off of currency? We wouldn't have control over people's spending, over inflation, all this wacky shit, So, what do? They fucking look at it differently, man. They look at it a little wackily, So they go, okay, we can't just cancel it completely. That's been taken off the table, That's off the table. We can't cancel it completely. All right. Well, you won't think about that. But eventually we're going to need people to come back to regular, what am I even talking about? So eventually they're going to go, eventually somebody in the government goes, actually, this centralized currency could be a good move for us to just leave it alone. Because if it really takes off, then we have a new platform to control people. Let's say because eventually all the cryptocurrency is just going to be the US dollar. Digital currency is just going to be US money, because nobody actually uses it to spend anything. They're just kind of in the cryptocurrency space for, okay, I own this, eventually, my money kind of increases in value. It's basically, it's a stock for the fucking dumbasses in the world, I don't want to be mean, but it's true. If you're an idiot, This is what you invest in. Do not invest in fucking retarded short-term gains. Money does not increase in value short-term. Very, very few people actually make any money. Money is investment is supposed to be mid to long term. You don't make returns overnight. It's not this snap, fuck, I made this percentage. That is all bullshit. I've looked into day trading. I thought it would work. I read 5 books on it. All of them were saying it's all fucking speculation. None of it's real shit. How you make money in day trading is you put a buy order, okay, before you even buy whatever stock you're looking at that you think is going to go up in the day, an up percent, okay? First of all, you need a good amount of money. I'd say you need at least 10K to actually make anything, you know? You can do it on very small amounts of money, but it's going to take you fucking forever to actually make any good money. Basically, you go, okay, this is the stock I'm looking at. You put a buy order at the price, you know, whatever, when you think there's a dip, because you have to buy low. You know, basically how this thing goes is you go, okay, you have to confirm the trends happening. So let's say you're looking at a head and shoulders pattern. You look at a head and shoulders, which they say is normally, that's the words they use, normally a reversal. So when you hear normally, you're like, oh, so I guess that means the majority. No, it means that, okay, some people kind of see it this way, basically. They aren't putting a percentage. They aren't telling you it's the majority. They're saying normally, which you would think means the majority, which is what they're trying to convey. But they actually can't confirm that. It doesn't really mean that. So, say normally, it means there's a reversal. So that means if the stock is increasing in value and you see a head and shoulders, it's going to go down in value, which you make money on a put or something like that. I don't know exactly. It's been a minute since I read these books. But basically, what happens is normally you'll make money on it. Normally it'll be a reversal. So you see a head and shoulders. You have to confirm the pattern's actually been completed. So I go, okay, there's going to be a reversal. So it means if you confirm the pattern's completed, you're either going in on a down or in on an up, which, depending on what the head and shoulders is, depending on what your put is or whatever, means that you need it to go on a put, you need to go up in value so you can buy cheaper. On just, you know, you're buying regular stock values, you want it to go down so you can buy cheaper. Same principle. So you're going to do on a little dip and then it's going to go up because that's what you're counting on. How stocks go up is they don't just shoot the fuck up. They go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But they're always going, it's like one step down, 2 steps up. You know, it's kind of like that. Or it's 1 step up, 2 steps down. That's kind of how these shits work. And why they work that way is because these fucking people will see, okay, it's going down. I have puts on it. So they keep buying when it goes, you know, they buy and then it shoots up a little. Then they sell and it goes down. Same thing on an up. They buy, you know, they sell and the stock price goes down. Then people see it's going down and they buy, so it goes back up. Very simple principles. Not really, but I don't even know what I was fucking talking about. But basically it's all speculation. So how you make money on, I was talking about how you make money on day trading. You're going to put a sell order, okay? Let's say this stock, you think it's going to go up. There's a head and shoulders pattern. So a head and shoulders normally means a reversal, but it could also mean it's trading sideways, or it could mean it's doing the same thing. We don't really know, but normally it means there's a reversal. So you're going to bet on the reversal. So there's a price you think you can buy, which means right when it goes down a little, okay, let's say it's decreasing a little and it's been decreasing, so it's going to go up. So it's decreasing a little more and you think it's going to go up. So you're going to buy at $12, okay? And then you're going to put a sell order. So you're just selling all the stock you just bought at $11.90. You're only willing to lose 10 cents a stock. Let's say you're only buying one stock. You're only willing to lose 10 cents. So then you're going to put another sell order, okay? Well, you don't put another sell order, so it goes up. Let's say it's going up and it gets to $12.50, okay? $12.50, you're going to go, or like, I mean, you're putting in like 10K. So it's only gone up like 10 cents, and you're like, fuck yes, we're going good. We're making money. You know, it's at $12.10. So then let's say it drops to $12.05, but you think it's going to continue going up. What you do is you double down on your winner. You buy more at $12.05. Then it goes up to $12.15. That's when you sell. But you're only risking that much, that because you have that sell order sitting 10 cents below. This is the fucking secret. It's a bet. You know, you have to be willing. You're gambling with your fucking money, man. But yeah, that's what this Hawk Tuah, that's what this fucking cryptocurrency is. It's gambling on the stock market for dumbasses who don't want to do the research. But that's this week's fucking, I think this is the second episode this week. Who gives a fuck? I don't even know what I'm doing here. But episode number 2, I felt like doing one. This Hawk Tuah shit really spoke to me, I guess. And don't fucking invest in cryptocurrency. It's dumb. And don't platform people that are dumb and stupid. Oh, it's funny the Hawk Tuah girl's famous. No, it's not funny. She's making millions of dollars. Fuck her. We are the little guy. We have to advocate for the little guy. Obviously the media or somebody's trying to platform her, okay? And this whole bullshit, do not buy into it. Corporate speak is how marketers get you. Corporate speak is how people change your mind. How they go, oh no, what you saw isn't real. This is real. You know, it's bullshit. Corporate speak's bullshit, okay? 90% of what people in marketing or any company, when they have a financial interest in what they're telling you, it's bullshit, okay? I'm not making any fucking money from this. And if I do make money from it, I'm a fucking hypocrite. So is everybody. Alright? We're done. I'll put this up. We're calling this one the fucking piano gallery. Because I don't know. No, we're going to call it Hawk Tuah something. Hawk Tuah. It's the dumbest, gayest shit I've ever fucking heard. Alright. Peace out, losers. So am I.